Well, hey folks, Species 7 here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Farm Sim 17. And we are here, of course, on Pine Cove Productions. And, well, getting the tedding done. I've got a good quantity of loose grass already stored at the farm. Oh, this is not quite wide enough. So now it's time to bale up some straw, indeed. And I have cut a fair chunk of grass to accommodate that. You see, we're a little light on the money at the moment, but that's okay. There are lots of ways to generate money. We should have some paper and cartons ready for us at the wood plant. So we could take a trailer full of milk, which I actually have ready, up to the creamery and get that started. We could sell a couple of logs. Lots of ways to make a bit of money. But I think we're all right for the moment. We'll have to generate a bit before tonight, because otherwise we'll wake up tomorrow morning in debt. Nobody likes that. So, a question. What do you guys know about a mod or mod pack, or, well, they're referring to it as a DLC, although, I don't know, called Horse Aggravation. Now, I actually came across this on Facebook. I post all my videos to my Facebook page, of course, and noticed, I don't know, a month or so ago, it was, oh, stay tuned, there's going to be this exclusive DLC coming from Horse Agritech, or whatever the heck it was. And, well, today I happened to notice that what it said was, enter this code for the DLC and blah blah blah. So I went thinking, well, this might be a little lurky, but hey, I got antivirus, I should be protected. So I followed the link, and it actually took me to Giant's Mod Hub, and came up with an executable that's like 900, almost a gig in size, 900 meg plus. This is going to be a bit tricky. Nice, got most of it. Ooh, might have even got all of it. Wow. But I thought, well, the last thing I'm going to do is load it over top of this. Now, I know that in the Mod Hub there are several maps, quote-unquote, that either have horse or aggravation in them. There's like just a whole bunch of them that all something aggravation, right? Mostly it seems related to the mod contest. Now, I say the difference with this one, now I mean those are straight up, you know, map, download mod, blah blah blah, installs. This is the only one that's been referred to as a DLC, and like I said, you actually had to, well, I don't know that you had to, but they had a code, and when you entered it, it would in fact start downloading the file. So I tried. I emptied out my Farm Sim folder, as I usually do when I'm trying another map, and then I let the game generate all its own new XMLs and all that stuff. I mean, it takes a little longer to initially load, but other than that, it works just fine. However, when I tried to launch this, before it would even start the install, it came up and said, you must be running Giant's version patch 5.1, which, having a Steam copy, of course, I am running. However, it apparently, now I'm thinking it's because I emptied the folder. If I had just removed the save games, I think it would have been a little bit different story. But I have a feeling there's an XML in there. In fact, I think it's called game version that might actually be storing the, well, hint hint, game version. Now, it did give you a download for the patch, because, I mean, it is Giant Site. But, of course, when you go to that, what you find out is a big warning that says, if you have the Steam version, my God, don't do this. So, of course, I didn't do that. So I think what I have to actually do is strip the folder again and then load up the game with just the Giants versions of the maps in it. Then exit back out so that it has generated all of its new folders and files that it uses, and then try installing it, which I'm going to do a little bit later, but I didn't want to take the chance of not having an episode to put up in case everything went all funny sideways. But yeah, if you guys know anything about that, if you've tried it or you've seen it or have been interested about it, let me know what you have gleaned. It would be appreciated. Now we've only got what's today? I believe is, yeah, the 13th. So tomorrow, the Giants DLC drops, the Platinum, which I do have. So we'll have, we will be having a look at that. So this will be going up tonight, and then hopefully tomorrow we'll have a check of the new Platinum map. Yeah, it was suggested maybe put a dirt track or something using the ground modification through there. The only thing that worries me is what if I decide that I don't want to use some of the fields for those purposes, or they're too big or too small. I suppose I've only used the ground modification to modify things. I've never tried unmodifying them, i.e., you know, going back over it with grass or whatever to see if it ends up being the same. You know, like, can I actually turn that back into one field? I would imagine ground modification seems to sort of work that way. But sometimes what things are and what things seem are not quite the same. Alright, so this time around, we're actually going to go down here. Oh, I cut a lot of grass, guys. Makey no mistakey, I cut a lot of grass. I think I went all the way around this, which is, of course, the biggest field we have. I also went around that one, and it surprisingly has quite a bit of grass around it. At each end, there's like a 5-row patch. So, yeah, I think we'll continue on the narrow end here. And then do a loop at the bottom and come back up. I do believe. And we can go back up over the top, down the other side, and we should be into a whole bunch more. I've already tethered the entire meadow. I cut the meadow and tethered all that grass. So we do have that ready to go. When I do bale it, we're going to try the new, that new truck. Although I have to get a deck for it, so I will have to generate a little bit of money here fairly soon, because it doesn't do me much good. It's just a truck frame. And I think it's going to come in really handy because, well, one of the things that's a little bit difficult is getting the trailer in and out of the creamery, just because there are so many lines of product. And that's only there. I imagine we're going to run into it in some of the other production as well. So having a flatbed style truck, ooh, she got a little bit hung up there, should really make it much simpler than that huge long trailer. From what I understand, it does stack a fair bit as well. But for now, it worries me that rain symbol has been there pretty much the entire day. And the last thing, of course, we want to do when we're tethering grass is have it rain. So I'm really hoping it holds off till I'm done. I've slowed the time down to 1x just for that reason. to hopefully have this stuff in place. Alrighty, so here's where this kind of gets offhand. Nice. Alright, doesn't really need a second shaking, so let's pick up some speed. And there we go. Now go down the other side. So I will have to, of course, drag a windrow through all of this. Because it has made a right mess of it. But then again, that mower leaving 3 rows, like mower, sorry, not more, that mower leaving 3 rows like this is a little bit of a mess anyway. You'd spend months trying to chase over it with the baler. So, we have the big Swadro, which takes like, I don't know, about a 6-acre strip and lumps it into 1 row. It's a pretty big device. I can hear a kitty meowing, but it's not mine. I think it must be the pumpkin kitty. I think he lives outside. There we go. And catch this edge a little bit. I guess I decided I didn't need to cut all the grass here. That's odd. I thought I remember actually doing so. But apparently not. I don't know why I'm just doing the edge of that. I suppose we could get right over it and make sure we get it. There we go. I mean, I don't want to fling it into the field necessarily. There. As long as we keep that last one out of there, it should be fine. See, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what the Platinum package delivers for us tomorrow. Check out the new gear. So yeah, I will definitely be doing an episode of that for tomorrow. And it'll be up tomorrow evening, as usual. I usually start my uploads about 6 p.m. Pacific. So usually by about 7 p.m. Pacific, my first video's up. And of course, being in the habit of doing 2 a day, then about 8:30, my second one is up. I remember not that long ago, before I managed to con the local cable provider into giving me an actual welcome to the 2000s sort of internet speed, that I actually used to have to leave my computer on all night so that I could upload to YouTube. Was not a fan. Yeah, as you can see, that entire area up there has already been done, so that's a good thing. That was a little bit of a job, getting the meadow done. But this is pretty much going to be what I have to get done here for the rest of the day. All these smooth sections on the side, of course, are where I ran the other mower around and actually picked the grass up and took it back. Otherwise, this would be a really wide strip. And wee. Wobble, wobble, wobble. That's about typical. And like I said, I've still got all the way around Field 6 to do as well. So I've got a fair bit of this ahead of me, I'm afraid. But that is one thing that, with doing farm sim videos for YouTube, you do a lot of off-camera work. You know, and seeing as this is not the only series I run, between first looks and those sort of things, yeah, it takes up a lot of the time that I might otherwise be putting towards other things, like other games that I'm trying to do, review, get better at, get further into, whatever the case may be. You know, you really have only so much time besides getting an episode down, doing the editing, getting it to render and all of that, because you certainly, well, at least not with my potato, you don't want to be doing much else if you're rendering, believe me. Because rendering will pretty much eat any and all resources you have, no matter how much you may have. It just goes, oh, let's take a bigger sip. Ooh, still some left, let's take a bigger sip. Yeah, until it's sucking the bottom dry. Then it goes, ah, well, here's a good place to be. And as it takes about twice as long to get a video ready as it does to actually make it, 2 videos a day, you can see I spend a lot of time either uploading or rendering, which makes my computer of very little use to me. I do a lot of, well, not a lot, but I do some of the off-camera during uploads. Now that I do have enough bandwidth to do that, and enough of a computer to multitask. I know, oh, what, you're running Windows 98, man? But, yeah, it's that, and lately I've been getting back into American Truck Simulator. So, as I've started a new profile and I'm back in the rookie-ish standings, it's going to take a while. But I figured with the New Mexico DLC, and then I had that Enchantment Pack DLC thing, which basically adds everything, including the New Mexico DLC, and pretty much everything else I didn't have, albeit most of it cosmetic things I'm not terribly concerned with. You know. But yeah, I am planning to bring that back to the channel. I just wanted to get a trip or two under my belt to get used to it again. So if you're looking forward to some ATS, let me know. I'm also going to do a quote-unquote first look, although it's in fact not, even for my channel. I have looked at it before. On an old Tycoon game called Freight Tycoon. And the reason I'm doing it is because there's a game in early access on Steam by Astrogon, fairly big developer, or publisher, as the case may be. But the odd thing is, it seems to be an exact remake of Freight Tycoon. Real differences being, of course, it's being made now, so the graphics are a little nicer. Although, of course, Tycoon games, it's not like graphics are the kicker. But it is a complete game, albeit a couple of little bugs here and there, though I've not run into them. And it's also 1/6 of the price, so I thought I'd throw it up there, and anybody that's waiting for that other one to reach full release might want to give it a little plink about. So, I actually recorded it yesterday, and then realized that for some reason the term Transport Tycoon was stuck in my head, so through the entire video I refer to it as Transport Tycoon. Which of course it's not. And well, that kind of took it out of the running for Video of the Year, let me tell you. Alright. That takes care of this section. Beautiful. Now, Well, well. I don't know if I actually finished the top. I think there's one more row, isn't there? No, we don't have a lot of hours left in this day. No, I did get it all. Awesome. Alright. Well, let's go get a start around the other one then, shall we? And I think what I actually did was came up between here. That is what I did. So, I don't know if the horse will fit through there. I just thought of that. Or the big, it's not a horse, it's a crone swadro, actually. There we are. And we are off and tedding. I'm sorry this isn't the most exciting episode. I did plant corn here, didn't I? Tell me there's corn. There is corn. Okay. Everything else is all kind of showing its little sprouty heads. So, I know this was the last thing to be planted. I just wanted to make sure I didn't stuff it in too early and have it come up as nothing there. But apparently I didn't. So goodly for me. And yeah, as I say, my apologies, this isn't the most exciting episode, but this is, of course, an absolute necessity. And I did do a lot of it off camera. But, I mean, there's not much point doing the entire game off camera, is there? So, today's episode, unfortunately, is all about this. How much? Oh, 1,100 kilos, eh? Yeah. It's a nice little tractor, actually. It's a very nice little tractor. As you can see, there's... Now, we don't own that other field, so this is where the grass cutting stops. Okay. Well, let's head down. Oops, again, I don't really want to be throwing it onto the field. Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. It's only a windrower we're going to be dragging over it. And there goes the train. Oh, there's a familiar meow. Dexter. Tell you, he's such a vocal boy. We had quite a storm here for most of the night. It's still actually pretty stormy here come morning, but that is fairly typical of November in the West Coast, let me tell you. This is our month of storms. Imagine at some point today I'll have to go up on the roof of the building, because it's also that time of the year when all the fir needles and bits of cedar branch and on and on and on and cones and you name it end up piling up in drifts like snow on the roof. So that's not good because it blocks all the drains. So we have heavy rains and heavy winds. It usually means we end up getting soaking wet at some point during that day, just long enough to get up there and clean them all. And then you're talking a couple of football field sized, you know, chunks of flat roof, so there's a few drains. Oh man, I'm just not quite wide enough for that last row. Now let's get this side. I'm not really sure other than this last field. Oh, it looks like I've got the one below us to do too. No? Field 5. I might have to go around field 5 if I haven't yet. Beyond that, though, I think this is pretty much the last of it. But yeah, it looks like field 5 is... Ooh. Apparently I took my finger off the W. Maybe I'll just put her on cruise control. Save wear and tear. Yeah, I still got to go around field 5. So I think I'll probably call the episode there. Yeah, as I said, if you guys know anything about that, pay attention to where you're going, buddy. Horse aggro thing, let me know. It's, as I said, I imagine at some point today I will empty my folders, reload the game, and then load the thing in and have a look at it. But if any of you have tried it, let me know what you think. Till then, though, this has been Species 7. This is Pine Cove Productions, and I'm out of here. So take care of each other, folks, and ciao for now.